Okay, so in order to explain how I like to make it work, I'm going to use some really round, ideal numbers just to show you what it would look like in a perfect scenario. So over here, I have these guided reading groups. I have 4 of them, and there are 6 kids in each group. And the red group is the lowest, and the green group is the highest. So they're ranked from lowest to highest. And so what I want to create is I want to take these same kiddos, 24 in my class, and make 6 different groups that will go to centers together. And I have a couple of things to think about. First of all, when I do centers, I like to have kids work in partnerships. So even if there's 4 kids in a centers group, which is going to be the case in this scenario, I still like to have them work with partners because I just feel like it's easier for them to get along, and also it reduces the noise level. So I want to have kids in groups where they can work in partners. I also want them to have an option of working with a partner who is about the same ability as them, because that makes things like playing word study games easier. But I also want them to have opportunities to work with someone who is a little bit higher or a little bit lower with that, little bit lower than them, so that they can learn from each other. And the last consideration I have to think about is the fact that because kids are not going to centers with their same guided reading groups, when I pull for a guided reading group, I need to not mess up the activity. So, for example, if I pull a group and there's only one child left and if it's a partner activity, then I've messed up that activity. So I need to make sure that when I pull a group, even though the groups may change and I can, adjust these as necessary, I need to make sure that generally speaking, when I pull a group, it's not going to, ruin the activity that I have planned. All right, so the first group I'm going to make is a group of 2 kiddos from the red group and then 2 kiddos from the yellow group. And the reason why I'm not pulling from the orange group or the green group is because I want to create a gap in ability that is significant but not too significant. So now we have this group where, 2 kids can work together when I want them to work, for example, studying words. And these guys can work together when it's an activity that works best with same or similar ability pairings. But at the same time, when they go to a center, if it's the partner reading center, then I might have them work in mixed ability partnerships by just telling them, okay, I want you to work from someone who is not in your guided reading group. So that gives me lots of options. The other nice thing is that if I pull either the red group or the yellow group for guided reading, that won't affect the activity because I'll still have 2 kids that are left there and can work together. So I'm going to actually create 2 more of these same or very similar groups. So each one of these circles represents a kiddo. I can't remember if I said that or not. And then I'm basically going to do the same thing for the orange and green group. Again, I'm creating a gap that's significant when I want them to work in, mixed ability pairings, but not too significant because I don't want kids to be working together who are, so much higher or so much lower than each other that they really can't learn from each other or teach each other well. Oops. Okay, so that got messed up. We're just going to clone this little kiddo. Okay, so now what we have 6 different centers groups. There's 4 kids in each group. They can work with partners who are about the same ability or a different ability than them. And when I pull a guided reading group, it's not going to affect the activity because most of my activities require only 2 kids. So that's what this would look like in an ideal scenario. This is kind of what we want to aim for.